Click the bell icon and subscribe to our channel so that you will not miss any classes. Hello, welcome to class. From this class, I'll be launching the videos on solving the kcet questions of previous year question papers and also some practice questions which are essential for you. So please make utilization of all these questions. So let us start the first question. Identify the correct statements or one statement or multiple statements from the following. Cuscuta is a chlorophyllous parasite. It is wrong. The human liver fluke needs only one host to complete life cycle. It requires multiple hosts, which means it is a false statement. The life cycle of endoparasite is more complex due to their extreme specialization. It is correct because the parasites show extreme specialization to complete their life cycle. During the course of evolution, the host bird eggs have evolved to resemble the eggs of parasitic birds. It is wrong. So the answer will be only the statement 3 is correct. So the answer will be option C. Relate column 1 with column 1 with column 2 with regard to predatory behaviors. Here, Calotropus shows the predatory behavior. It is option S, that is cardioglycosis. Pisator bird, it shows it is invertebrate. Monash butterflies, distressful. Then frog, cryptically colored. It changes its color. So it is 1 is S, 2 is P, 3 is Q, 4 is R. So the option is option B. Small mammals and birds are rarely found in polar regions. The reason is the question is why the small birds are found in the polar regions. In the polar regions, the temperature is too less. So in order to avoid the excess loss of heat, small birds or small animals are rarely found. Only the larger animals are found because the larger animals have lesser surface area, whereas smaller animals have larger surface area. So vice versa. Hence, the smaller birds or smaller animals are rarely found. It is because they have more surface area, exposed surface area. So the answer will be option A, because they have larger surface area relative to their volume. Identify the correct statement. Camp plants close their stomata during daytime. Seals have thick layer of fat to reduce body heat. Lizards bask in the sun during winter. Tribes living in high altitude have the same RBC count as people living in the plains. We know that the concentration of oxygen in high altitude will be less. So, those who are climbing the mountain or those who are living in the higher altitudes will have higher RBC number rather than the people who are living in the plain like us. So, the tribes which are living in the high altitude will have higher number of RBC compared to those which are living in the plain. So the option C is not a correct statement. All others are found to be the correct statements. Population size keeps changing depending upon the different factors such as food availability, predation pressure, adverse weather, all of the above. All of the above is the answer. Identify the incorrect statement. Speciation is generally a function of time. Tropical environment is less seasonal, relatively more constant and predictable. Solar energy contributes to high productivity. Temperate regions have remained relatively undisturbed for millions of the years. The answer is the option 4 is only correct, and option 4 is only the incorrect statement and all other are correct. So the answer will be option C. The correct equation, it is a direct question, just look here. The correct equation depicting the species area relationship is log S is equals to log C plus Z log A is the correct answer. That is option A. Match the column 1 and column 2. Narrow utilitarian argument, broad utilitarian argument, and ethical argument. Here, the first one, narrow utilitarian argument, is receiving the benefits like food, medicine, and industrial products. Broad, conserving biodiversity for the major ecosystems. Ethical argument, energy. Every species has intrinsic value and moral duty to pass our biological legacy on good order to future generation. So it is 1 is R, 2 is P, 3 is Q. So the answer will be option C. Identify the correct statement, one or multiple statement, about ex situ conservation. Ex situ means the conservation of organisms apart from their origin. So we will take that organism or a plant from that environment and it will be preserved or it will be maintained in some other places like museums or in botanical gardens likewise. Cryopreservation of gametes, plant tissue culture method, seed bank, in vitro fertilization. So answer is all of these are included in the ex situ conservation. Cryopreservation is storing the gametes in liquid nitrogen, and plant tissue culture, the small tissue will be taken out from the plant and it will be grown somewhere else. Seed bank, here the seeds are collected and it will be collected in the seed banks and wherever necessary they will be sowed. And in vitro fertilization, it will be done in the laboratory. So all of 4 are included in ex situ conservation. So the answer will be option 4. The concept of contagium vivium fluidium was given by M.W. Bajornik. These are direct questions. Identify the odd one out. Eustylago, Alternaria, Collatotrichum, and Trichoderma. The Eustylago, these are all are producing the sporangiospores, but it is showing the body. The plant body having holdfast stipe and frond is a characteristic of red algae, and the example for red algae among the 4, that is Laminaria, Volvox, Gelidium and Porphyra, is Laminaria. Option A. Identify the correct statement or statements regarding the class A's. The forelimbs are modified into wings and hind limbs are modified for walking and swimming. Yes, correct. Heart is completely 4-chambered. Yes, it's also correct. They are homeothermous, of course. They are oviparous and development is direct. So all 4 statements are found to be correct. So answer is all are correct. Epi Gynus flower is one in which Epi Gynus flowers are those flowers which are the gynecium, that is the ovary, will be present here, and above the ovary all other floral parts like stamen, stigma are located, that is sepals, petals will be located, and at the lower part the ovary will be present, and all other floral parts are present above the ovary. So such flowers are called as epigynous, above the ovary, and hypogynous means below the ovary or from the base of the ovary. So let us look at the options. Ovary is superior and other floral parts are inferior. It will become hypogynous. Ovary is inferior and the other floral parts are superior. Yes, it is the answer. Then, the following type of cell junctions is not found in an animal tissues. In animal tissues, we will find only three types of cell junctions like adhering junctions, tight junctions, and gap junctions. So, three junctions are there, and the other one is given here, that is loose junctions. So, answer is option D, that is loose junctions are absent. Other three are found. Then, a bacterial flagellum is composed of, so here is a bacteria, and they have, for their motility, they have the flagella. So when we take a look at the ultrastructure of a bacterial flagellum, it will have the basal body, then the hook, and the filament, like this. Filament is too long. Basal body is attached to the cell wall, and here is the hook. So to the hook there is an attachment of the basal body, the filament. So the three parts are basal body, hook, and the filament. So where you can look all these three in option A, filament, hook, and the basal body. And vesicles, tubules, or lamina, they are found in the other parts of the bacterial. Match the compounds of column 1 with their functions in column 2. Column 1, trypsin. The function of trypsin is working as an enzyme. Trypsin is an enzyme. GLTU enables glucose transport to the cells. Collagen is an intracellular ground substance. Antibody, of course, it fights the infectious agents like microorganisms. So one is S, one is R, 2 is S, 3 is P, and 4 is Q. So the option is option D. The correct sequence of events in prophase 1 is the correct sequence. The first is synapsis will happen, that is the two homologous chromosomes will come together. Then the two homologous chromosomes between the non-sister chromatids, there is a crossing over. Then the crossing over will starts separating, will results in a X-shaped structure called chiasmata, and finally the crossed over chromosomes will separate from each other, which is called terminalization. So the first is synapsis, then crossing over, then chiasmata formation, finally terminalization. So we could find this event or this sequence in option A, synapsis, crossing over, chiasmata, and terminalization. That is answer A, option A. The enzyme that is not found in C3 plant is ATP synthase is present, RUBP, ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase is present, nicotinamide diphosphate reductase is also present, PEP carboxylase is absent, that is option D. Match the location of the cell given in column 1 with its function in column 2. Mitochondrial matrix, mitochondrial matrix where we could find the Krebs cycle. Then cytoplasm, in cytoplasm glycolysis will take place. F0 F1 complex is present or it is responsible for synthesis of ATP. Inner mitochondrial membrane, it is responsible for electron transport chain. So these are all found in the mitochondria, in the mitochondrial matrix. So for 1 is P, then 2 is R, 3 is S, and 4 is Q. So that is option A. Identify the incorrect statement or statements. Kinetin is a derivative of adenine, which is a pyrimidine. So it is wrong statement. The technique of decapitation is widely used in tea plantation. Yes, of course, correct. Ethylene is a gaseous plant hormone, correct. Use of gibberellic acid tree hastened the malting process in brewing industry. It's also correct. ABA is a growth promoter. It is a growth inhibitor. So the incorrect statements are 1 and 5. The option is D. Then calculate the cardiac output of an individual having 70 heartbeats per minute with a stroke volume of 55. And we know that cardiac output is equals to stroke volume multiplied by heart rate. So here they have given the stroke volume of 55 ml and the heart rate, that is 70 per minute. So a heart rate is 70 and 55 is the stroke volume, that is at once heart will pump 55 ml of blood. So multiply these two, how much you will get? We will get 3850 ml, that is approximately 4 liters, and it is option C. In a standard ECG of the following functions of its components is not correctly interpreted. So it is P is the contraction of only left atria. It is not, it is wrong answer. So that's why the option is A. The other, of course, the others will be the right. Then match the hormones of column 1 with the functions of column 2. So in column 1 they have given hormones, and in column 2 they have given functions. So here the catecholamines, they are responsible for stress hormone. MSH, melanin stimulating hormone, is responsible for pigmentation. Thymogens, they are responsible for immune response. Melatonin is responsible diurnal rhythm. So option A is correct. How many microsporangia are located at the corners of a typical bilobed anther? Typical bilobed anther will be present like this, having 2 lobes, and then each lobe at the corners 2 microsporangia are present. So totally there are 4 microsporangia present. Option B.